Hey, this is a thing I'm gonna do now. Um, you probably don't know me, obviously. That's kind of how this works. But, this is kind of just something I want to do for the sake of bettering myself. I feel like I've spent my entire life, up until pretty recently, with the idea that nothing I do matters. Like, obviously, everything has its consequences, snowball effects and all of that. But the way that it affects other people has not grasped my mind since I was a kid. Like the thought that something I do could have a drastic effect on somebody else's life. Like that's never even crossed my mind, right? And I learned that pretty recently. I'm not going to go into details, but I learned that pretty recently whenever I hurt somebody. And I hurt somebody in a way that really and I hate that it had to be this person, because I care very much about this person. My whole heart, I care with this person so much. But I hate that me doing that to them is what made me realize this. Like, I hate that I couldn't see it before. I wish I could have, really. But I don't, it's like I did it, and then they were so hurt that it shocked me. And maybe that's like a crazy thing. Maybe I should feel crazy for saying that. But the way to me, it feels like no matter what I do, it shouldn't be a big deal to the people around me. At least it should only affect me. Everything should only affect me, which is like, it's such a main character syndrome, but it's true. I've been under the impression that let's say I did something to my mom, right? Let's say I lied to her about not eating my vegetables. I don't know. Let's just say I'm like, hey, yeah, I ate my broccoli last night. And she finds out that I'm lying. Well, at the end of the day, because she's not me, it's not going to affect her as much, because she's not the one that did anything. I'm the one that did something. She'll forget about it by the next morning, right? At least that's what I thought. But in reality, she goes, why would my son lie to me like that? Does he not appreciate the value that I have as a human being enough to where he feels like he can just lie? Right? So that's kind of something that I've come to grips with just, in the last day. And it's really pulled on my heart in a way. Because I've been a terrible person my entire life, just straight up. I've been a bad person. I've been a bully. I've stolen. I've broken into people's houses. I mean, thank God. Thank the Lord above that those people that I did do that to were the nicest people in the world, and they understood everything. Because I really wasn't like breaking into their house to break into their house. I didn't even know it was a house. They own it's crazy. They own a house that's not even a house. It's a giant gym, and I had no clue. But I was just trying to do some urban exploration or whatever. So yeah, I've been a bully, stolen, broken into people's houses. I've cussed people out before. I've cussed a lot. I cuss so much that it doesn't even register in my mind. And I lie. I'm probably the most not the most, obviously, because I'm not freaking Charles Manson, but I lie so much, and I'm so I'm so desensitized to lying that it doesn't even affect me like I feel it should. I just sometimes I just lie to lie, and that it's not even a benefit to me. There's no reason for me to lie about it. But I just tell myself that I should for no reason. It's just like, oh, just lie, just do it. Why not? What's the worst that's gonna happen? These people aren't gonna feel affected whenever they find out that you're lying anyway. It's just like, well, oh, you lied. Okay, who cares? No, but they do care, is the thing. Because I have human value to them. But they haven't had human value to me up until, just now. Like, realizing that. I think the big thing is realizing that I'm not the main character. And I don't know if that's something everybody deals with. I've heard of main character syndrome. But it's so easy, I feel like, to just fall into this thing of the world revolves around me, right? Because it's kind of like it's almost ethnocentric, where it's everything I do is stuff that I see, and everything that happens around me is stuff that I'm noticing, which means that everything around me is about me, which isn't true at all. I mean, people living their own lives out here. I'm a middle school PE teacher. These kids aren't going home and going, oh, look at Mr. White. Look at Coach J. No, they're not doing that. They're living their own lives. They're thinking, oh, did I do my history paper last night? Or do I need to study for a test? And the fact that I couldn't see that almost feels like pure stupidity. Right? Like it feels ridiculous for me to just assume that everything's about me. Sorry, I need to take a drink. I'm thirsty. But maybe everybody feels that way. I don't know. But it's not right. At least I feel that way. I feel like it's not okay for me to not see the way other people are and how they would feel about the stuff that I do. Especially if it's somebody like super close to me. Like, I lie to the people close to me all the time. I've lied about stupid stuff that doesn't have anything to do with anything unless you're racist. Like, I've lied about my ethnicity. Like, I've told people that I'm from the Caribbean. I've told people I'm from California, which isn't true, and it provides no benefit at all. Like, why would I even say that? What was the point? It's just like, oh, just lie really quick. Even though it's so much easier. I think what it is it's an attention thing. I think that it makes me feel good being the main character to be the center of attention. If I say something crazy like, oh yeah, I live in Maryland, but I was from California. And everybody's like, oh, that's so cool that you're from the other side of the United States. What's it like over there? And they want to ask me questions about it and stuff. And it's just lying to gain attention. It benefits nobody except for me, really. And whenever they find out that I'm lying, eventually, even though I didn't think this before, eventually they'll be like, why would you lie to me about that? How could you lie? And that's the worst thing, is that I'm just hurting people at the end of the day. Everything I do, as far as lying goes, will either have no benefit at all to the people around me, or it'll hurt them. So what's the point? What's the point in doing it? There's not one. That's terrible. But I'm just a bad person, like I said. Like, if you had a number line, right, from here to here, and you had on this side, you had, Hitler, every politician, Jeffrey Dahmer, and freaking Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. And then there's the neutral right here. And then you have, a Good Samaritan, the Pope, and Jesus Christ. I'm probably, if this is the middle, I'm probably over here. I want to be over here. I want to be seen as a good person. And I saw myself as a good person. I was like, oh, I do good things. I do good things all the time. It's like, what good do I do, though? You know, I really thought about it. What good do I do every day? What's a good thing that I do to help somebody else? Or to even help myself? I cheat. I cheat all the time. Not on my relationship. I would never. There's one thing. My girlfriend that I'm with right now is the most perfect person in the world, I feel like. At least from my point of view. I could never. Literally never in a million years could I cheat on her. But I do cheat on, like, tests. And I kind of cheat in friendships sometimes. Or I have before. Probably not in my current friendships because everybody's cool with each other. But I've kind of cheated in friendships where I go like, oh yeah, screw that guy. Am I right? And then I'll go over to that guy and act like I'm the cool, like we're the most chill people ever. When I just told my other friends that I hate him. So, like, I cheat on school. I constantly use ChatGPT, any AI stuff like that. It's ridiculous. It doesn't benefit, like I said, all of this stuff doesn't even benefit me. It benefits me none. It's like, what? I'm gonna graduate and have no knowledge of what to do? Like, if I want to be a lawyer, right? Well, I don't want to be a lawyer, but if you wanted to be a lawyer and you're in the same position as I am, you're gonna cheat through it, right? Like I've been doing. You're gonna cheat through it, and then you're gonna graduate and have no idea what to do, right? You're gonna try to take the bar, and you're gonna go, huh? I know none of these. I know the answer to nothing. I don't know the answers to any problem that I do. I don't even have an associate's yet, and I'm already cheating. I'm on the easy stuff. I'm doing prerequisite work, and I can't. I still can't. I just. It's so much easier to do the wrong thing most of the time. It's so easy. Actually, I would say lying is kind of a halfway line. I would kind of say that it's like a mix. Lying isn't always great. It can be harder or easier to do. But like cheating is such an easy way out, especially now. Like with ChatGPT, you can have half of your screen on your computer be ChatGPT and the other half be your work. So you don't even have to flip back and forth. You can just copy and paste it and put it on the other side of your screen and it'll solve it right there for you. It's ridiculous how easy it is. It's easy to, cheat on your friendships and say, yeah, screw that guy, and then go be friends with him because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Right? It's easier to, or not because you don't want to hurt their feelings, but because you want to be friends with everybody. It's easier to cheat on relationships. It's easier to say, why have one woman in my life, or man, when you can have two? You can have more? I can have more sex? Why wouldn't I, right? Especially if you don't see the people around you as having human value. And I think it's harder to think about that stuff, and it's harder to act on it to do the right thing, but it's so much better for you to do that. So much better. Because these people that are in your life, their hurt will eventually affect you in some way. Like even if you're somebody who has absolutely zero remorse for this person. Let's say you go to college and you have like a friend group of like 8 people, right? You could just lie. You could say the most heinous thing to one person that you don't care about. You don't care what they think. Why would you care what they think? Say that to one person. That one person tells the other 6. And now, all these other 6 people that you care about what they think and you care about how they think about you are going to think less of you. So even when you don't think it's going to affect you, it's going to affect you. And I think that really the root of this, for me, maybe not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. Yeah, everybody's got their own roads, which I've learned, apparently, recently, is the root of this is a lack of spiritual guidance in my life. Not that my family is the most Christian, most like, not religious, because we're not even like, don't sin or you're going to hell, but everything we do is Christ-centered in the family, right? But just me, it feels like nothing I do is Christ-like up until this point. Nothing I've done. Like, yeah, I have 7 Christian songs on my Spotify, and I would force myself to do the Bible in a Year challenge when I was 14. I cheated on that. I would cheat on that too. I would go on the app, on the Bible app, and I would go scroll, finish, I'm done for the day. Didn't read it at all. Because it's like, why would I read it when there's an easier solution? But the easier solution doesn't benefit me. So why did I do it? Because it's easier. And I'm just tired of being a bad person, really. It's frustrated me so much that I hurt this specific person in my life, which I think was the catalyst to me making this. Because I feel like if that didn't happen, I never would have even come to grips with this. To this person that I hurt, I love you with all my heart. I really do, and I care for you, and that's why this is hurting me so bad, really. But yeah, I'm just tired of being a bad person. I'm tired of being addicted to stuff all the time. I smoke, I drink. I'm not even legally allowed to do that, by the way. Not legally allowed to do it. I don't do it in dangerous ways that harm other people. I don't drink and drive or anything like that. But I do it. I still do it. It doesn't make it any less bad. I'm lustful. I'm what, like a sex fiend? I'm not, because I don't go and have sex all the time. But I'm addicted to the thought. I'm addicted to the thought of it. I've been addicted to porn. I've been addicted to cutting myself. I would cut myself in my teenage years. And you can kind of almost see it on the top of my arms. Like, that's not hair. That's one big line. But anyway, that's not important. That's almost like attention again. Like, it's like, that's unnecessary. It's not necessary to show it, right? Because then at that point you're just like being like, oh, take a look at this. I'm so cool. No, I'm not cool. I'm a terrible person. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I want to be better. It's like everything that I do is almost like a way to get away from doing the right thing. Like, I know my family, we used to watch The Chosen, the TV show, in our living room. And I would just sit there on my phone during it because I wanted to get away from having to watch the show about Jesus Christ. And like I said, I'd skip through the Bible whenever I could. I would go to youth just to play sports. I'd go there for the 30 minutes where you're playing basketball with all your friends. Barely think about the actual topic of that week, and then go home. Act like it didn't move me at all. It didn't move me because I didn't want it to move me. I would rather be content with being a bad person And not that not going to youth makes you a bad person, but I was already a bad person refusing to get help. And sometimes when I'm listening to music, I'll think to myself, I haven't listened to a Christian song in a while. Or, I haven't done anything Christ-like in a while. Or, I haven't even listened to a pastor in a while. And, my first thought isn't, I could just look up a sermon on YouTube if I wanted. I wouldn't even have to watch it. I could just listen to it in my ear. I could just play it on my AirPods and listen to it while I do anything else. Go play disc golf, go tie my shoe, whatever. And yet, I would rather just sit there and continue listening to Death Grips or anything else, Foo Fighters, whatever artist I choose. And I'm tired of it. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this first section to talk about my struggles throughout, whether it be just like something throughout my life or throughout the day, throughout my week. And then I'm going to read a Bible passage that I like a lot. Just a chapter. I'm not going to do a lot. You don't have to stay for it if you want. That's why I'm going to do it at the end. You don't have to stay for it if you don't want. But I'm just gonna read a passage of the Bible and try to put it in a way that relates to real life, as being somebody that has not held up any Christian values for the last 10 years of my life. So, without further ado, here we go. I'm going to go to, what was it? James? Is that the name of the book? Is there a book called James? I'm not sure. I'm going to feel really stupid if I'm wrong. Yeah, okay, there is a book called James. James, and I think, because I looked on my phone earlier, because but literally what I did was I just went through a ton of random books on my phone, on the Bible app on my phone that I just downloaded. I just downloaded as a Christian, by the way. I went, I just picked a random chapter, random book. And I feel like maybe the Lord did a good way of showing me what to look at, because it was pretty good, really. Maybe every part of the Bible is really good. I have no idea. That's the thing. I shouldn't have no idea as someone who's lived the Christian life for the last 20 years of my life. Anyway. Okay. So I picked James 2 for this today. So, James 2. James is the name of the book, by the way. Just because I wasn't sure. Chapter 2 is the test of brotherly love. I believe this is the KJV version. Yeah. I really want to get it in KJV version, but it's okay. I'll just explain it like I said I was going to anyway. Okay. Chapter 2. My brethren, have not the faith of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. For if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring in goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment. Well, let me finish the sentence, I'll tell you. And ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, meaning good clothing. And say unto him, sit thou here in a good place. And say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit under my footstool. Are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts? So I'm going to stop here for a second to explain that. We shouldn't have biases towards people based on the way they look, right? At least in the very, very, the very edge of this is saying, don't judge people based on the way they look. It should be more about how they treat you. Because if you see a man, let's say you see the president of the United States, no cameras around, I don't want him to put up his front, and you see, your local homeless person, right? Say his name's Todd. So you see your local homeless Todd. It's a BoJack Horseman reference, by the way. And you say, oh, Mr. President, come sit here. Or, you know what, before we get there, let's say the president spits on your shoe and goes, your house is filthy. And Todd comes in, he goes, nice to meet you. Thank you for allowing me in your home. This is a great home. And just based on their stature, you say, Mr. President, you come sit here at the front of the table. Obviously, the president would never spit in your face, but I'm trying to make a point based on appearance over attitude. And you say, Mr. President, come sit at the head of the table. I have a special chair just for you. And you tell Todd, just go sit on the floor. You're homeless. You're used to it anyway. You're being biased. You're being unfair to Todd. Just because of the way he looks. Even though he was way nicer to you, because you know he's of lower stature, you treat him like less of a person. Anyway, we'll continue. Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him? But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you, and draw you before the judgment seats? Do not they blaspheme that worthy name by which ye is called? If ye fulfill the royal law, according to the scripture, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, ye do well. Because we're supposed to love our neighbors as we do ourselves, which is everybody. Everybody is our neighbor, right? We shouldn't treat the president better than Todd just because he's the president. We should respect the president, but we should also respect Todd. But if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin, and are convinced of the law as transgressors. For whoever shall keep the whole law, and yet offend in one point, is guilty of all. For he said, do not commit adultery, he said also, do not kill. Now if thou commit no adultery, yet you kill, thou art becoming a transgressor of the law. So it's basically saying, you're not any better. You're not any better for committing one sin over the other, right? Let's say like with the 10 Commandments. Let's say I've never killed anybody. I treat all my neighbors equally. I've never stolen. I've never done any of that. But I've lusted over somebody. I've lusted over somebody that's not even close. I saw an OnlyFans model on Instagram, and I lusted over that person. It doesn't matter then. You're doing just the same as if you were to kill somebody. Right? Now, obviously, in our societal law, that's not true. Which is fair. I think our judgment system is very fair in the context of what should happen for each person. I think if you've killed somebody, you deserve life in prison or death, rather than somebody that stole a pack of M&Ms from a Dollar General. I think that's very fair. But this isn't about necessarily crime. This isn't about committing a crime necessarily as much as it is about committing a sin, because they can be different. So if you're lustful over somebody, you are the same as somebody who's thought, not even actually done it, you are the same as somebody who's thought about murdering somebody. Right? And that, so what your need to be partial, as the Bible says, is none. You're not one to judge. Who are you to judge, being somebody who's committed a sin just like that other person? You have no right. You have no right to do that. I have no right to do that. I don't know what I'm saying, like it's only you. I have no right to do that as well. I shouldn't be like, oh, look at that guy. Look at him. He's stupid. You see him lusting over that girl? When at the end of the day, I might go, get off. To be frank, I could do that at the end of the day, but it's okay because I don't know the person, and it's okay because it's their job as, an OnlyFans model or a porn model. It's magically okay because that person's not a part of my life like the girl was that we saw in the real world. That's not fair. It's just as bad. Anyway, we'll keep going. Where were we at? Okay, so speak ye, and so do as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty. For he shall have judgment without mercy that hath showed no mercy. And mercy rejoiceth against judgment. So, that's not saying if you sin, you're going to hell. That might sound that way. What it's saying is, if you have no mercy towards people and treat them terribly, even though you have also sinned, you will not be shown mercy. But as people, we should forgive one another and see the good in them, rather than say, oh, you're a sinner. Why would I respect you? You've sinned. Why should I respect you? In the same way, God will say, why should I respect you? You showed no respect. You showed no respect to them. Who did you respect whenever they did wrong? Nobody. And that's when there will be no mercy. What doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he has faith and have not works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye giving them those things which are needful, what doth it profit? Which is saying, if I see a homeless person on the street and I go, just go get a house. Go get you some food, go get you a house, go get you a car, go get a job. I'm not helping their situation. It doesn't do anything. And that's part of being judgmental, is to say things without any work being put towards it. Right? Like, it'd be easy for me to say, I'm a better person than I was yesterday. But I have no acts that show that. Which I mean, I'm trying to, obviously. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be making a video that's this long if I wasn't. But you have to show works with the things you say. You can't just say, oh, just do that. You got to show how it's possible and show that it is possible. Anyway. Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. Yeah, a man says, thou hast faith, and I have works. So you have faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Thou believest that there is one God, thou dost well. The devils also believe and tremble. So that's kind of the life that I've lived, where it's like, oh, I believe in God. Of course I believe in God. I'm a Christian. The devils from the Bible also believe in God. Does that make them any better? Does that make the devils in the Bible better, that they also believe that God exists? No. It doesn't mean anything. That's faith without works. Like, oh yeah, I believe in God, but I don't listen to anything Christian. I don't listen to any Christian music. I don't go to church. I don't even listen to pastors on YouTube. I just acknowledge that God exists and carry on with my normal life. That's faith without works. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? So basically what I just said. Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar? Seest thou how faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect? And the scripture was fulfilled with what it said. Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of God. That is faith with works. Abraham put Isaac up on the altar to kill him because he was being put under a test. That is faith with works, to say, God, I have faith in you, and even though I don't understand it, it is better, and I will not interfere. I know that your plan is better. Ye see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. Likewise also was not Rahab the harlot justified by works, when she had received the messengers, and had sent them out another way. For as the body without the spirit is dead, so is faith without works. So, we know that, as Christians, this is over, by the way. I'm done. But we know that whenever you die, your spirit is what goes to heaven, obviously, not your body. It stays here. And it's saying in the same way is faith without anything to show for it. You can't just say you have faith, right? You can't just say, like what I was just saying, oh yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. That means I have faith. Of course it does. But you could, God could come down right now, right in front of my face, and say, drive this car directly into a tree. Drive it directly into a tree. I could have 100% confidence that it's God, and I would not do it. I wouldn't do it. You know why? Because I don't have the faith to show with the works. I have false faith. I have the faith where I can go to the people around me and say, yeah, I'm a Christian. That's the most faith I have. Right? I don't even have the faith to go up to somebody and say, hey, you should consider Jesus Christ as your Savior. I can't even do that. So, who am I to think that if God were to come down and tell me something that I'd do it? I wouldn't listen. Not with the state I am right now. I wouldn't listen. Because I don't have the faith to go with it. Yeah. So I think just realizing that we're all sinners, and God doesn't see one sin as better than the next, and showing respect to everybody, because at the end of the day, we're all sinners. We all need Jesus as much as any other person. I need Jesus as much as the Pope needs Jesus, as much as a homeless person needs Jesus, as much as an evil politician needs Jesus. We're all the same. We all bleed the same. We're all the same at the end of the day. It's how we act and show faith by works that separates us and the mercy that we show towards others, which in a way is a faith by work. So yeah, I think this video is long enough. We're at 40 minutes right now. I'm sure most of it is just me going. So yeah, have a good rest of your day. Keep being the best person that you can be, and yeah, bye.